Hi guys, it's Jenny with Art for Good. So today I'm going to show you how to make a flower using another cake pan technique. This is using a swipe technique, and actually, as you'll see, this particular video will take many different turns. I started with a swipe, I ended up doing Chameleon Cells, and lastly did sort of a blowout with a hairdryer. So this is a good example of how you just kind of have to go with the flow and let your creativity out, and don't be afraid to keep manipulating the painting if you're not quite happy with how it looks. So my base today is just an ivory black color. I'm using an Artsmith brand. Black is very tricky, I will say. It is notorious for eating up colors. So I have had great success with using an ivory black, definitely not a Mars black. I also have heard that the Amsterdam brand blacks are a little bit better and don't eat color. So I'll put exactly the brands and colors I've used in this piece in the description below. If you're brand new to paint pouring, I will also put a link to my paint pouring recipe, or how I'm thinning out the paints to get them to flow like this. So I'm using some custom colors and some that are directly from the bottle. So I'm using sort of a blend of oranges here, and I'm just going to use my palette knife and sort of swipe outwards from the center to make sort of petals on the flower. I love using the cake pan for these types of things because it protects the negative space in your painting, but allows you to not have to worry about adding negative space in later. You know, if you say let it dry and then added a circle later, you could do that, but this is just a quicker instance, and it just makes it look a little more natural, in my opinion. So I'm doing another round of this orange mixture. This is a perfect way to make a sunflower as well. If you perhaps wanted to use just orange and yellow colors, I think this is a perfect sunflower, but as you will see, I start to add some additional colors just because I'm not quite happy with this here in a moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take off the cake pan and then just do a design here with a craft stick. I think this just makes it look a little more interesting. You can also use sort of a skewer or a toothpick, whatever you happen to have on hand. I'm just going in with a straw in a couple of spots just to blow sort of the wispies out a little bit and give it a little more movement. I'm gonna try to add some white. I'm going to use some small pieces of a paper towel that I've cut up to just do a little bit of white swipe with those. So this is a great example of showing you a lot of different techniques in one video because I change my mind so much. I thought long and hard about showing this entire video, or should I just sort of cut to the chase? But I felt like it was important to just show that not every single artist that's doing these videos or putting out tutorials is doing it perfectly every single time. There's so much that doesn't go right. Even if you've been doing this for years, like I have, it's always a different experience with each piece. So don't get discouraged if you find that, it's not looking exactly like perhaps somebody's video that you're watching. It's these little moments where things don't go right that you're really building your repertoire of how to do this form of art. This is the moment where I start adding in some additional colors. So I'm adding in a magenta, just sort of a pink color, and then some additional darker reds into the mix. Okay, so I decide to use the hairdryer to blow it out because I'm still not quite loving the swipe look. At this point, it's all looking like it's one color. The colors have gotten a little too muddied. So I'm gonna take a skewer and dip it in coconut hair serum. And I'm gonna try to make what they call chameleon cells, just to sort of bring out some of the different colors underneath the petals. All right, so after doing all of that work with the Chameleon Cells, I didn't love it. So again, I used the hairdryer to do one final blowout. And unfortunately, my phone died. Of course, in this video where I'm showing you how to overcome your mistakes, my phone died. So I did not capture the full ending of how this piece was created. However, it's very close. I just essentially kept doing this technique and then adding some different colors, some darker reds, some pinks, and what have you into the mix. So this ended up being the final piece, which I actually love how it turned out despite all that went behind the scenes that you're now aware of. It looks, because there were so many layers, it looks a bit 3D in some ways, where there's sort of a background petals, and then as you're getting closer to the foreground, those colors are a little more vibrant. So I encourage you to give it a try. I also have some additional flower videos for you here. I created a playlist, so I'll link to that for you if you're interested in different types of flowers you can create. But otherwise, please subscribe. Tell me what you think about this video, or share maybe an example of a piece that didn't start out the way you intended but ended out quite well. I would love to see it. Otherwise, I will see you next time.